Assalamu alaikum. So we're in Durban. We're very, very excited. It's the beginning of a roadshow with Islamic Relief. You know, we normally partner with Islamic Relief. We've been doing it for many, many years for all the amazing work they're doing around the world. This time it's for East Africa and the terrible famine and drought that's taking place. Millions of people are at risk. And they say that a huge amount of children, die every day just because of lack of water or lack of food. So we're raising awareness. So Durban's our first fundraising show. We're going to be performing at the Hartley Road Fair, which is a huge fair that happens every year, and hopefully raise awareness, most importantly for Islamic Relief. I'm happy to have Rashid with me, and we're also launching his brand new album.
Well, the new album is kind of my journey as an artist, as a person. It has a lot of good messages out there. There's one song on the album that speaks about believing in yourself. There's a lot of screen addiction out there. There's a lot of social media addiction that people kind of don't switch off to. So this just basically speaks about the ripple effect of social media and the screen addiction. So it speaks about believing in yourself. And there's a lot of other songs on the album as well. It has a lot of good positive messages for the youth, for people, for the listener. And I think people should enjoy it.
Yeah, I think watching him on stage, it's watching you on stage. It's quite an interesting experience because I've seen him perform from a young age and singing those songs and looking up to me, and he was so nervous, but yet also, free of, worries. Because as a child, I think you have no real nerves. You have that confidence of youth. But seeing him now growing up into the man that he's become, subhanAllah, I'm very proud, very, very proud of him, and I'm very proud of the person that he is, and also trying to get better. And the most important lesson I give him is just that you should always, push yourself and remember the greater purpose of life. And, to be the person on stage, to try to be that sincere, appreciative, grateful person off stage. And, the people who listen to us, it's a gift from Allah that they even there to hear what we have to say. And also, most importantly, singing meaningful songs. Because he could use his talent for other things, but singing songs that can really inspire people towards good. And that's really what, inshallah, we should be doing as creative people. Every show is different, and I must admit, every year that goes by, maybe it's just I'm getting old and more nervous as I'm getting older, but I do get more nervous. I do get more tentative because I guess when you're young, you have this confidence of youth, and as you get older, you kind of know now all the things that can go wrong. So those are in the back of your mind, and you're also trying to read the audience, you're trying to read what will be most beneficial for them to sing, and I've got so many options, etc. Remembering the lyrics.
That's a big thing.
That's a big thing, because I forget the lyrics a lot, especially some of the songs that I don't often do. Of course, my favorites are easier, but it gets difficult. But I think once you're on stage and things are working in terms of the sound, and you're feeding off the audience, and there's a lot of children in the audience, and you're watching their faces, it makes that window of time on stage really worthwhile. If I look at my mother and my father and how we grew up, we weren't necessarily a musical family, but we were very communicative family. We were very expressive family. And I think that is very important. Like my mother and my father would always be talking to us, and we would always be talking to them. We'd be singing, my father was always writing poetry, and my mother was singing and for us in our home. And one of the things my mother always shows us is the poem that my father wrote to her, that she recites off by heart till today on their wedding day. So I think as a family, even my sisters, they're all very creative. My father till today, every once a year, he writes us a letter telling us about the things that we should hold important. So I think besides the musicality, which now I have taken to, in my generation, taken to a different level by becoming one who writes and produces and releases music or songs. But I think in my family, I don't really encourage, I wouldn't really go out and say, you have to do this, no. But I definitely would encourage us having dialogue all the time, like speaking to the children, like myself and Rashid, we always try to talk as much as we can, just not just about life, but what we're doing, where we're going. And that, I think, seeps into our songs itself. And I guess that for me is what art is all about. It's not just about singing and have the ability to sing, but pouring your heart into something and saying, like, this is who I am. This is what I have to present to the world about what I have to say. And that's what I encourage my children, not even maybe singing terms, but in whatever sphere of life they choose, but they should always give a piece of themselves to the world. And I think, I don't know,
That's
I think
kind of the hardest thing as an artist or a musician or Nasheed artist, as they call it nowadays. A lot of the new artists that are coming out right now, they're kind of sticking to a certain criteria and ticking the boxes and not really writing from what's within. You know, you get some amazing artists that kind of do say what's in their heart, but a lot of them just kind of tick the boxes and just try to give the audience what they want to hear. And that's not necessarily what one should do, especially with a creative. You should put something out there that you felt that's real, because sometimes that's what people actually want to hear. My father's always given me a lot of advice. He's molded me and shaped me into the person that I am today. And working with him can be stressful at times. I know he pushes me beyond.
I would actually say more stressful for me to work with you.
It's not really.
By the way.
I think we kind of bash heads at times, but the outcome, we kind of both happy with it in the end. But my father's taught me a lot of stuff.
It just feels like you bashing my head, by the way.
Not really. But anyway,
Yes,
getting
let's
back to
moving
it.
on.